Hello, strangers and old friends, and welcome back to my channel. And let me open with a heartfelt apology for my long absence. It was unfair of me to abandon the channel so suddenly and without warning, and to deprive both you and myself of the entertainment that it does give us. Because indeed, I do get a lot of value from making these videos. But I let life's little worries distract me a bit too much recently. I shall endeavor now to correct that though, and though I might not be posting quite as frequently as I did during the heydays of the lockdown, I will attempt to do so several times a week. That should be more than manageable if I simply prioritize things as they should be prioritized. Alright, with this little intro out of the way, I don't want to bore the newcomers by talking to all my old friends. I shall dive on into a new game. After one sip of water, I'm not used to recording, so I have my water very at hand this time, so that I can parch my throat as needed, or satiate my parched throat as needed. See? It's quite the art talking to a camera for extended periods of time, and I am out of practice. Today we are going to be trying a new game. We shall be checking out Humankind, the new 4X game from Amplitude Studios, the makers of all the Endless series games. Now, this is a new game, and it has some occasional bugs and potentially balancing issues. Nonetheless, I am quite a fan of it thus far, and I hope that I can make the case that it is worth your investment as well. But before you make that investment, you can make a determination by watching me a little bit. I do only have, a couple dozen hours in, maybe even if that. So I am not an expert, but that's all right. Learning together is much more entertaining than learning alone. Shall we then dive on into this? All right, we will start then with a new game here. Great. This is the startup screen. I should probably make sure I'm speaking loud enough for you, but I can always pump the volume up in post-editing, post-production, I guess. Yeah, again, the words you forget if you step away from the computer for a little while. All right, let's get started on a new game. We'll be going with 6 competitors, which is about appropriate for a large map. 5 if you'd like a little bit more space to grow. Normal pacing, because I actually find that slow pacing doesn't really slow anything down. Otherwise, I would actually prefer it, but it just means that you reach the things at the same time for a higher cost. Odd. We'll talk about that some other day. Difficulty, we'll shoot for Empire, just enough to give us a challenge without challenging us too much on this first Let's Play of a game that none of us know terribly well. I would say, though, if you are an experienced 4X player, you skip over these at the bottom. I got bored very quickly. Even Nation, actually, I got bored pretty quick. Empires has the potential to bore you as well if you get lucky, but this game does have an RNG element, so you can sometimes get a bit unlucky at the start with where you land. Your neighbors will be a bit aggressive, the land will be unfertile and sparse on resources, so we'll see how lucky we get now. Let's move on and look at that now. Alright, so our goal here in the early game is to lead our nomadic tribe through the Neolithic era and into the Ancient era. In order to do that, we want to grow our population, discover some science, or hunt a few animals, and that will earn us a star, which allows us to pick a culture and progress into the Ancient era. However, there's no hurry. Let's explore a little bit first and try to find a good place to settle our first city, maybe get a few extra pops that we don't necessarily need just from a gameplay perspective, because there's a good reason to enter the Ancient era well prepared. So, the narrator is quite nice, but I will skip over those. I'm your narrator today. You can listen to him another time. Here is our starting location, and it looks alright, I must say. We are close to the pole, but not too close, that's fine. And we have horses down here too, which is an excellent thing to have early in the game. It is a core unit, of course, for advancing your military prowess. This is a strategic resource, You also have luxury resources, but I'll show you those kind of things as we come along. This is our starting unit, a hunting party. As the unit gathers food, it will grow and will get more units joining it, which will be useful so we can cover more ground more quickly. Now, first choice is always the hardest choice. Which direction do you go? I would love to see the rest of what's down in this territory, because if you see where these lines are, these are territories, and you can only build one outpost or city per territory. So I would like to know what else is down here. However, we're already in a river, and that's nice because entering a river tile costs you all your movement points, but you can move relatively quickly, of course, through the river once you're in it. So we're going to go this way. Unfortunately, the first thing we hit is a cliff and a waterfall, so we can't go much further. That's all right. We got a little bit of a better view of what's to our north. And the first thing we see is the first goody hut. There are, I would say, 4 types of goody huts in the ancient era. The first one is the grain one, which, as you will undoubtedly not be surprised, gives us some grain, a little bit of food. So we're working our way towards having an actual population growth spurt there. All right, we've got 1 more move, or 2 more moves. All right, so since I mentioned you lose all of your movement points when you enter a river tile, it's always good to do it on the last move if you can. It's a bit of a shame, though. I'd actually really like to go up here and swing around, but, you know, well, so be it. We will enter the river tile here. We'll stick to the coasts. That's the end of our turn, and we can move on now. Start of the game goes pretty quick usually. More food, almost there. Getting pretty far north, a shame, but you know, well, you know, you gotta go where the food is. There we go, there's our other goody hut. That's what we really need. Let's run up there and grab that. We gonna make it this turn? We will. This is the Science and Influence goody hut. Once we go in there,
culture died out doesn't mean it wasn't worthy of study.
And we studied it, and we got 1 Science and 5 Influence. Excellent. Something I'm going to do really quick here, actually show you, is you can turn off these tile, indicators down here. You can also turn off the tile things, but I find them discreet enough they don't bother me. If they bother you, let me know. So we have some influence now. That means we can actually claim territory. Ooh, well, that's even nice territory to claim. I was going to say something about it, but I will now. So as you see, when you are in a territory, it highlights it in red, and that tells you that this is everything in that territory. Looking at this territory initially, I'm underwhelmed due to the lack of any sort of luxury or strategic resources. However, other than that, it is actually a fine territory. It has a good balance of food and production, and these tiles right here in particular look quite good for a potential place to build a home. I may even actually do that. It's a little bit of a gamble this early in the game without seeing the territories around it, but, not that much of a gamble. I will also, though, really quickly check what it is telling me about down here. If there's any, if there's anything that's really great, it will actually point it out usually, but that's also very good. You want to seek a little balance here, like a 10-10 is always great. You're not always going to find it, though. And indeed, there is a case to be made for places where you're going to just build an outpost and not a city, that you can also make it very heavy in one direction. Have 20 food and 3 industry. It'll just take it a long time to build then, because an outpost builds based on the industry of the tile. So here's another place we'll want to definitely pop a city later on, though, I think, right up there. What about down in the Horselands? Oh, well, that's not bad. Actually, 1016 is actually quite good. I do like to build on rivers if possible, but close to rivers is just as good, to be honest. Yep, I'm thinking all these places look lovely. We need more population so we can get down there. All right. Which one I would want to be the capital is just really hard at this point. So it's a little bit early. All right, world deed locked. This means somebody else discovered Lake Hillier. It's a world wonder. Thanks for letting us know that we can't do that. I have to decide if it seems like a lot of commitment. I'm worried if I build it now that Not that there will be necessarily other better places, but that I won't have enough influence to compete for something that becomes important later. And this is really far away, as you can see. Well, it's going to take us one more move to get up there, so that's fine. Let's pop in here. Oh, we can grab some food as well on our way. Great. So now we get our first population growth. Yay! Let's send one of these fellas to continue along the river a little bit. First, our first luxury resource up there too. When you want to split them up, just go click on one of them, click transfer, and then click whatever tile you want to transfer them to. I chose badly again because there's again a waterfall there. You know, these endless legend games are their map generation very nice, but they add a strategic depth that can make it difficult to get from point A to point B efficiently, to put it politely. There we go. I'm heading over to this lair as well. A lair is where the wild animals spawn from, and particularly the aggressive wild animals. Otherwise, it will be called a sanctuary. I like to get rid of them. If you plan on doing a lot of hunting, you can leave them around, but I find animals get in the way when I'm trying to get from point A to point B again. All right, I have some food down there. How long will it take you? You will be able to go down there later. That's good. Not right now, though. Not important enough. I can build my place right there. Now that I know that there's at least one resource up in the north, that's a start. And there's a good land down here, but I don't know if there's any resources. Horses will be far away. All right, I'm just going to commit to it. We are going to build our first little place right here. We also have an event on this little fella. I usually like to try to watch out for these so I can find out what they are before I move my people, in case it changes my decision about what I would do. This is the Lost Souls 1 event. You'll see it quite often. It's a new game, so of course the events are not extensive. There are not a large number of them. So you'll see the same one a lot when you're replaying. Not within the same game, of course. They tend to be historically driven. So your scout comes to you, breathless from exertion. Between gasps, he tells you that he spied another tribe not far ahead. And through that tribe, you see a young woman of no more than 13 summers leading a ceremony. Shall we welcome these young children who need care and shelter into our tribe, or shall we withdraw? And if we welcome them, we'll get an extra unit, which is great. Otherwise, we will become a little bit swifter on our feet for a few turns. We shall, of course, welcome them, because Pops is power in most 4X games. We do have to note, though, there is a chance of this triggering another narrative event, which could have consequences. Consequences be damned, though. All right. I even placed them in a useful area here. I can go and explore the other direction. Food down there, but it'll be a long time till I can get there. So I guess into the river you go. Could have sent him up here too, but I really do want to find out what's in this territory. Lots of food down there. Nice. Okay, we've got 3 units. We're making a little bit of progress here. That is good. And we have our first settlement on Pakuma. Well, it's up in one more turn. I guess, can you chase down there? Yeah, he's going to have to pay to enter the river tile again right away. But worth it. And you can't go down there quite yet. Another river tile. Well, rivers are nice from a gameplay perspective where you settle, but yeah, it is a bit of a shame when you have to enter them originally. I might even neglect this food then, to be honest. I really just want to do some exploring for your benefit, if not for mine. All right, into the lair. Yep, there we go. So with the lair, you want to ransack that. You click the, just like the sanctuaries as well. Click ransack, click on the lair, and go on in there and take care of that. That's a nice little lake area there. Looks like a place I'd want to settle. And it'll take a turn to get through that, and then we can move them on. We should get, what did it say? I think it usually says 20 food from it usually, which will be enough for a population growth.
You have built a first outpost, adding another territory to your empire.
Yay.
I know, you're hoping this is the beginning of something
Should I turn him off? Let me know if I can turn him off. It seems like one of those features that might have gotten overlooked when they were, rolling out a new game. All right, well, let's keep on moving here then. I'm going to put that off because I don't want to have to make the decision about where to send him. All right, but get down there. Hey, our era star is unlocked. The growth star has been earned. It will remind us about this in a second, so we'll come back to it. It's because we picked up another population on this fellow here. And we picked up another population there as well. So let's split these people up. Send one on over to this food. Got some horses up here as well. That can be useful. And some more gems. But I'm sending them this way. And he didn't make it very far. That's all right. Okay. This is such a hard decision. I really just want him to walk the valley, not go and pop and get more food. Okay, walk the valley. So it is. Passing up on food. I'll send somebody back there to check on it eventually. Well, and I did not find anything too terribly interesting, to be honest. Well, that's all right. We have not discovered a lot of those science goody huts, which is a shame. That's why I will be pointing out to you this. So once you've attained one of the stars, and we have attained the growth star, you can move out of the ancient era. However, you don't have to. You can also click remind me later. Choosing now gives you the advantage of getting the culture that you prefer. You get first go at it. Reminding me later gives you the chance to enjoy some of the benefits of being a hunter-gatherer tribe for a bit longer. And there are some benefits. There are videos on YouTube about that, I am sure. There are people who say you should stay a hunter-gatherer for a very, very long time. We will stay a hunter-gatherer for a little bit longer, but not too long. Turn is ready. There we go. There's another science. That is good. Because I just really want to go and collect a few more of those. I want some more influence so I can actually build some more outposts. All right. Yeah, lots of resources up here. That is nice. You see, when you hover over these, you get benefits, some stability and extra money based on when you develop these gemstones. So very good things to have. The shame we've got all of the same thing, but that's all right. It will cost us 20 influence to build our next settlement, so we're not even remotely close. There's a bear. We don't really want to go there. Though I would like to see what the coastline holds in store. We've got this guy over here. He can see what the coastline has in store. There we go. Let's get up on that hill, see if we get a bit better view. We did not. Oh, no view of anything. Trees. We'll cut them all down eventually. And our other fella, I guess, head back up into the mountains. Yeah. I will say that these goody huts can respawn, though, so it is worth it to walk back over territory you've already tread. Got another movement on them. 4. Already gave up the food, so... Did I take that food at least? Yes, I will. Yay. It wasn't enough to grow, though, so it didn't really benefit me at all. But I do have to... I can't get down, it's all cliffs. Oh well. And the elephant is blocking my way. Again, that's why you don't like animals. Just getting in the way. Didn't see a lot of new stuff there either. One more movement. He's got one more move on the guy running from the bear. Good. Let's send him then over to... Yeah, just there. It doesn't really matter. Gonna be a river holding him up in a moment anyhow. So here you can see, if you always pay attention here. Oh, battle. Yep. The bear caught us, which isn't great. We will take care of that right away. We're not going to win against the bear at this point of the game. So retreat. It's a shame to lose our progress on exploring this valley, but I think it's going to be actually pretty hard. No, he can go down here. Good. It was like, oh no. If you retreat once, you can't retreat again right away. So yeah, battle is taken care of. Oh, there's another battle there too. What are we fighting here? I'm guessing a bear as well. It's an aggressive thing. I guess we're retreating there as well. Probably I should have just like tried the battle. Didn't even show me what was there. That's a shame. Oh well. And now we have an event. A world of flame. In the distance, a thin cord of smoke cuts up into the clear blue skies. Fire. Calling a few tribesmen, you run closer, the smell of cindered bark and burning pine growing stronger with each footfall. You spy dancing flames and suddenly find yourself on the edge of a settlement on fire. Ah, so some people are running away from the burning buildings. We could chase them down and get refugees next to our hunting party, or we could extinguish the fire, get a bit of research benefit for city defense when we eventually get to that point of researching stuff. Again, we will take the extra pops. There they are. 2 of them. All right, let me just click on the button and let it decide for me what I want to explore. Head on further up into the hills there from our one city. And send another one. Yeah, I think I want to send one of them up into here. There's some more food, but I'm not bothering at this point because I don't think I will have the time to take advantage of that food before I move into the next era. Because those food accruing benefits of growing by just eating stuff off the land disappear once you move into the ancient era. This is a long valley. It seems like a trap. I don't think I'd want to get an army caught there then. It's just leading us further and further from home. Wow, that is no way out of there. We're definitely going to want to claim this from a strategic perspective. Even though there's actually not a lot in it. No, there's some gems. All right, our turn is over. The choice now is, do I want to pick my civilization now? That would mean that this has to be our capital. I'm fine with that. It seems like a fine place for a capital. Yep, I think so. Let's go ahead and pick our civilization so that we can get like first go at this. Though I almost don't like having first go. Because it really makes the choice hard. So I'll tell you the favorites. The AI will always choose, almost always, it's smart, and it almost always chooses the Harapans. They get bonuses to food, which really accrues and gives you a nice big head start in the game. So highly recommended, great one to start, love it. Myself. You do want to make sure, however, if you're going to choose that you have rivers and you plan on kind of settling near them, as we have here. That is good. River up here, that's also good then. No river here, so we wouldn't be accruing a lot of benefits there. Yeah, a little spring. There is some good rivers down here though. So yeah, we've got enough rivers near us to make good use of them. The other choices that are popular are Messians, but that's for the militaristic style player. I'm not going to read through all of these right now unless we have a debate between 2 of them. The Egyptians are always great. You know, it's good to get the industrial capacities up nice and early. I am also a fan of them. And for the long game, the Zhao is good for the stability. As you'll see, when we start building, you really need to keep your stability up. And lastly, one of my kind of favorites that I like doing as well is the Olmecs. They get some influence improvements as well as some food. So it's kind of balancing influence and food, and the more influence you have early in the game, the quicker you can expand. That said, they got nerfed a little bit during the closed beta or open beta, whatever the different phase was. Used to be one of the favorites of everybody, so they're not quite as good anymore, I believe. I am just gonna make the decision then and go with the Harapans, to be honest. It's nice to get the head start, and it's what you should do, so it's what I should do. And confirm.
The challenges of a young
Again, I'll skip over the narrative so that you have some sort of surprise when you purchase the games later.
Certainly had markets.
Sadly, yes, we never found out what the civilization would have done, so now we have to demonstrate it ourselves. Now, one of the nice things about the Harapans as well is one of the few or only, I think, civilizations when you actually become them, you actually get your units upgraded, your tribes that were wandering along. They're upgraded to runners. It's a close combat unit. It ignores movement penalties on forests, has 5 movement, which is great, has good vision as well. The only disadvantage is that it's not as strong as some of the other units, but still put 2 of these together and you'll be able to fight off a single unit that you come across. I'm not a warmonger in the early game anyways, so I don't need a good unit in the early game. Great to suddenly have a bunch of fast units. We don't have the influence we want though, that's a bit of a shame. We are going to work on that though by first evolving our outpost to a city. The first time you do that, it's free. So there's our capital, Harappa. And the first thing I will get building there is actually this, the pottery workshop. I want even more influence. 3 a turn is not enough for us to grow very quickly. Then we can think about getting started already on our canal network. That's their special emblematic district. No, not exactly great territory for it, to be honest. But yeah, because you want it somewhere where it's going to maximize future yields, of course. Well, 222, that'll be fine. We'll probably end up putting it around here then. And it'll probably be the next thing that I build. Anytime you build one of these districts, though, it's important to note that it costs you stability. -10 in this case. Yeah, it'll be fine there. I've just seen such impressive numbers sometimes that 12 doesn't really blow me away, but 12 is still very good. And once you build some other districts next to it, of course, you'll get some adjacency bonuses, but, you know, not yet. Hopefully we'll get some adjacency bonuses. All right, that's all that we need to line up now. We don't have the ability to build a lot of other things anyways. I am considering, though, since our population of this little village is relatively small, having this fella join in. We'll think about it. First, I'll send him off and see if we can find anything interesting in the lands that we have already wandered. As long as the unit is within the territory, see how much more movement these have now? It's like, oh, that's nice. As long as they're within the territory of a city, if you just band it by clicking on it and going to expand, the unit will join the city. Sounds nice, but also if you build a unit, a population will leave the city. So keep that in mind. War has costs. Where was I here? Wasn't I yes, he retreated for reasons, I guess. I think I'm gonna just send him down then, because I don't want to wander through all of this over and over again. Let's finally go back and explore the homeland from whence we came. More idle armies. We'll do that before we get to the research screen and show you what that is like. Got a good pass here. Oh, can't get up there. Darn cliffs. Can I get up there now? Nope. And it's gonna be, I'm gonna have to enter a river tile in one move. That's not nice. Oh, peaceful animals, good. That's what I like to see. I like peaceful animals. This looks like a interesting territory that again has no resources, but will be absolutely essential to secure for our expansion. All right, our researchers are idle. I like to actually go to the text screen to choose this. It doesn't really matter what you take early on. Depends on your goals. If you do have an emblematic unit that is locked behind, say, bronze working, of course you might want to rush it. In my case, I will want to get to irrigation as quickly as possible, and it's always nice to have a granary. We will want the horses sooner rather than later, and lumber yards, warriors. Yeah, you pretty much need everything. Not a lot of choice. It's a little bit about prioritizing what you want to reach quicker. I actually like that it doesn't have too many branches, though. They start to get a bit overwhelmed. Still have some movement up here. That's great. Can you go down? You can, because otherwise I'm worried he runs back into the bear. That should be fine. There's where the bear came from. Should we go burn the bear's home down? Or, okay. That's the peanut gallery. How are we doing on time? All right, we're almost out of time too, which is good. It's appropriate to end when you pick your first civ, so we're a little bit ahead of the curve even, but that is fine. I keep this guy, I guess it's good to check out every nook and cranny here, so let's see if we can get through there. Go there. Faster, faster. Yeah, these are great scout units, great. All right. And we can finally get out of this canyon. That's such a big canyon. We're so far from home. Don't get caught by anything. You're not getting any support. I mean, you know, of course you want to explore far from home too, but you want to discover what's close first too, so you can prioritize what you need to be grabbing. Really, it's going to be expansion to the north, which is a shame. I actually just kind of wanted to expand to the south because it looks interesting. But that's all right. All right, let's hit another turn then. Yay! Harappa gained a population. Let's show you that population. That population is a farmer. And we currently have it set to balanced policy, so just going to kind of plop population in each one of the areas of the fins, as the Amplitude Studio people like to call it. You can change this, though. You can also just grab and drag it if you like. You do have some limits on it, like there's only 2 farmers' jobs available, 2 of any jobs available right now. You can see our stability is at 90%, but it's going up to 100. That's the default right now. The default will change based on stuff you build and things you do. So your capital will usually be relatively okay for a while. You can also purchase things if you have enough money, but we're doing so miserable on money and influence and everything that we don't have to worry about that for a while. All right, let's move some of our units around and then we'll wrap this up. The river is blocking us here, so we don't have much of a choice. That's the direction we have to go. Hey, a deer, can I attack you now? Sure, I can get some extra money that way. We'll do instant resolution because fighting deer is not entertaining. We won, that is not a surprise, and we got 5 gold from it. Yay! The money is useful. Yes, I wanted to just continue along the water here. And now we're gonna discover, like, whether we should have come down this direction first. That looks like just the water there, so I'll just go this way. Oh, good choice. All right, no, good. This is where we started, you may remember, and I wanted to see if I went to the south and immediately found, like, you know, Shangri-La or something, you know, the El Dorado right there with every resource you could possibly want, the best place for your starting capital. Nope, we did not. It's nice land, but nothing to feel like we missed out on. Okay, we definitely will have to do some prioritizing up here. Do I want to take care of that layer? I really do dislike having bears walking around, to be honest, so yeah. Sorry, bud, your home is going. You know, our new runners that are, you know, upgrades from our scouts, you can upgrade other units, just to make it clear that, you know, with money and stuff for any civilization, it's just that the Harappa have this special thing where their scouts immediately for free get upgraded. All right. We burn his home down. Great. A few more resources. I've never seen so many unknown strategic resources on in one area on a map. We will be set up for the future if we live through the present. That's good. Okay. Yep. Let's just keep on driving directly east. It's a shame. I could have hunted that deer had I known that, or gotten that sanctuary had I not clicked too far. That's all right. It doesn't really matter. Still in our territory. How much influence have we got? 8. How much are we going to need again? We are going to need 10. All right. That does mean I want to start planning, though, for where I actually want the next city, so that I can have a unit ready and in place. If you do recall, there was some nice... you can't actually check it out until you actually got the 10. That's something I'd like to see, just so you could, you know, plan the future. It'd be nice to know what your yields are going to be, but you have to have the influence. Unfortunately, I am going to have to go to north because there are just more resources up there for exploitation. Right, the horses are in there, and the horses are the only thing in there. There's a couple things in there, and a couple luxuries in there. And you generally want to go, of course, one at a time from your capital and move on from there. So we will be doing them both. Doesn't really matter. Let's start sending him up here. And that way he's in position to set up our new village in the next episode. An elephant. We will probably not win against an elephant. Maybe we might. Oh, another sanctuary. So now... sanctuaries will mostly give us money. I could have sworn one time I saw that it like said what you would get. Ah, yeah, when you click on it. When you click the ransack and then you click on it, and it says what you'll get out of it, out of your labors. This is an interesting area here. I would have liked to have started over here, to be honest. Oh well. All right, end of our turn and the end, I think, of our episode. We've explored quite a bit of land. We entered the ancient era a little bit quicker than I would normally recommend, but it allowed us to secure the arguably, OP, civilization as our own. We've only got one city then up and running, but we will be getting another one up soon, and that expansion will primarily happen to the north given the quantity of resources. I'm really, really curious about all these unknown strategic resources. There was a problem with the game that there weren't enough of them, and I wonder if I got a update, and now there are way too many of them. Which, I actually lean towards the I like not enough, because then it creates tension and controversy over resources. And if there are tons of them, I won't feel like I need anything. All right, let's wrap it up there, though. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next time as we continue trying out Humankind as the Harappan civilization. Thank you, and all my best. Ciao.